Hi people, Night Voice here again. 2011 stock market crash. Today, yesterday in America. Be interesting to see what happens tonight in America. I said back in May of 2010 that we were going to have another market crash, and this time will be 100 times worse than the one we had back in 2008. I mentioned in that video that everybody was going to lose their money, especially the people that have superannuation tied up in companies that trade on the stock market, stock or share market. This is absolutely huge. It's worldwide again, and it's just going to keep going and going and going. I think I read on the internet earlier this afternoon that I think 60 billion was taken out of our market here, or lost in our market here. Worldwide, all the stock exchanges are down 3-4%, and it's just going to keep going from there. The monetary situation throughout the world is, I've mentioned in videos before, is absolutely knackered. And this time I think the only way out of it is it's got to crash. There's no money to put in anywhere. You can't keep printing money. The American dollar is plunging, or has been plunging for quite some time, but it's getting worse. No one's got any faith in it. No one has any faith in the United States as being the world's reserve currency. China's slowing down. I mentioned that about China also in a video a couple of months ago. This has all just come to a head. All these bailouts of countries in Europe. I mentioned, you know, every country is, there's no country that's not escapable from this. It's just going to go down and down and down. There are going to be billions, people are going to be wiped out financially. People's superannuation here in Australia. You know, I mean, if you look at Australia, what's happened over the last 12 months, or, you know, ever since this, since 2008. You know, if you look, the housing industry here in Australia is pretty well knackered. The cost of houses. The retail trade. I see today another store in the, or chain of stores in the eastern states have pulled up stumps, gone broke. Another 200 jobs lost. David Jones in the paper the other day, or the guy that used to run David Jones, the company he works for now, on the retail side of it. Retail is knackered. People haven't got the money to go out and spend the way they used to spend. Everybody is worried about what's happening. So they're keeping a tight rein on their money, while most people are just managing to pay their mortgages, you know, it's and pay their utility bills and stuff. Complete downturn of everything. You know, the stimuluses, like I said, haven't worked in any country. They might have forestalled this this market change we're having now. That's all it's done. The Americans have upping their debt limit, which, you know, they can't pay back the money they've got now. So by increasing their debt limit, so they didn't default, that's only just going to stave it off for another. Well, who knows? Now the stock market's crashing, everything's going to blow up. You know, this country, like I said, you know, the housing industry, retail trade, complete downturn. And the government are trying to bring in more and more taxes. This mining super tax that they've proposed to put in, the carbon tax, you know. And Gillard today or yesterday mentioned that it was crazy or ludicrous or something to expect people to pay GST on overseas purchases through the internet. But she wants to tax the hell out of anybody that's in this country. Retail stores, you know, mining companies, and this carbon tax they want to bring in. But people that are buying stuff over online from overseas, no, leave them alone. I mean, that's the problem why half of these retailers are pulling stumps, because people can buy stuff GST free from overseas. The whole thing, this carbon tax, this mining tax, that's going to take money out of Australia, investment. People are going to say, I mentioned in a video the other night, you know, people are just going to say, well, get nicked. It's too expensive to operate in Australia. We can go to Indonesia or, you know, the South Sea Islands or wherever, where people will welcome them with open arms. Give them tax breaks to employ their people and bring in revenue for the country. I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to destroy this country, bring us down financially, and take us down to third world status. That's what I've mentioned before. This one world power, this one world government, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy the Western world, bring us down to one world power. You know, look at the live export on cattle. What that's done to our farmers. No income. Some of them have got to sell up because they owed money before. Well, look, anybody in business, there's not too many people in business that don't owe money to somebody, right? And the farmers rely on their produce, whatever they're producing, whether they're producing cattle, sheep, wheat, corn, you know, whatever. And what's the government doing? Destroying it. Destroying our farming. And I've mentioned in a video before about all the foreign companies that are buying land, farming land, here in Australia. I've mentioned also about there being a worldwide food shortage. We should be pumping the hell out of our farmers, supporting them, you know, 100 times more than we do now, so that we can grow food and export it to countries. You know, what we need to do in this country is we need to get rid of the Reserve Bank, nick them off altogether, print our own money backed by gold, get rid of the UN, just tell them to go and get nicked. Nick them off altogether. Drop the tax rate to 10% across the board for everything. Right? Company tax, personal tax, business tax, whatever. Housing interest rate, we should have a fixed rate for first home buyers, first home buyer occupiers of 3% for the life of the loan. That's what we need in this country. Get our farming back, get our manufacturing back. You know, like I said, tax breaks for everybody. I mean, that just creates investment, it creates manufacturing. People will want to come to this country. The people that have gone to China or India, they're the main two, I suppose. Indonesia, anywhere, Malaysia, they'll want to come back to Australia and start manufacturing here. If we do those things. You know, 3 or 4 simple steps that I can see that would create jobs, manufacturing, farming, and get things going. I've mentioned before about canals going across the country, all this sort of stuff. We've got everything we need here in Australia, and that's the way we should be going. This carbon tax, this mining super tax, no GST on overseas purchases, you know, retail trade, housing industry, all this stuff. It's just destroying the country. The amount of money we give out in aid and social welfare. I've mentioned here again before in videos about there shouldn't be any unemployment in here in Australia. But this stock market, this crash is going to get everybody. It's got to take everybody down. The thing that a lot of people don't understand about our banking system is that the biggest shareholder, or one of the biggest shareholders, well, I think they are the biggest shareholder of our four major banks, the Commonwealth, the National, the Westpac and the ANZ, yeah, the main four. The biggest shareholder is, I think it is Chase Manhattan Bank in America. Now, if they start to feel the pinch because of this the stock market crash, all the banks are down today on the stock market, and guarantee that the American banks will be too. If that bank in America starts to get the jitters and start to run out of money, what are they going to do? They're probably going to ask these four banks here to either buy them out, buy their share out, or however it works. But they're going to be chasing money. Whether our banks have got the money to pay them or not and nick them off altogether is another story. Pretty frightening stuff. Like I said, most people don't understand. They think that the Commonwealth is owned by the government. I think at one stage it was, but they sold it in 1961, I think. Something like that. And probably think that our other banks are owned by Australian companies, or Australian companies own them. But they are private businesses just like anything else. And if you have foreign investment in those businesses, well, you know, if something's going haywire in their country, they're going to want to sell their shares or bail out of it left, right and centre. Now, I'd imagine that being the top shareholder in these banks, their interests would add up to quite a substantial amount of money. So that'll be very interesting to watch. But believe me now, everybody is going to lose their shirts off the back. Business people, investment people, private citizens like us people that are have superannuation invested with companies. Their investments go haywire because of the downturn in the stock market. Bang, gonna lose it. That's my feelings. Night Voice, catch you.